Hi and a very good day. So for this video session, I will continue discussing on data structure and manipulation, right? And for this video, I will introduce you with apply family function. Okay, why we call it as apply family? Because we have several members here, okay, that caters different types of data structure, and also it depends on what kind of output that you want. Okay, but the idea of using apply family, okay, programmers are very familiar with usage of for loops, okay, to repeat an action. And in our programming, we need this a lot. Okay, suppose that we have slices of data in matrices, arrays, lists, or data frame, and we want to repeatedly apply the function to every element in the slices. Okay, and so suppose that you want to sum all the rows, you want to calculate, okay, to calculate the average of every column and so on, right? So the idea of using apply family is, instead of we performing for loops, okay, we use this function, okay, to avoid some explicit use of loops construct. All right, and how this apply family function works, okay, let's take a look at the first okay, the first member here. We have apply, t apply, l apply, s apply. Okay, so for apply function, the keywords here is it apply a function over the margin of an array, whereby for t apply, it's apply a function over subset of a vector. L apply, loop over a list, okay, and evaluate a function on each element. S apply, same as L apply, but try to simplify the result. M apply, multivariate version of L apply. Okay, to discuss more, it is better to show it by using some example in R. Okay, so for this example, I'll set up a few vector here. Okay, so we have vector A, B, C, and also I set up a matrix. Okay, as we can see here, it is a matrix. Okay, if you check the structure, okay, so we have, okay, matrix here. Okay, and then I also interested, okay, to see how this function works with data frame with the same object. Okay, so if we can see here, okay, we already set up the vector and okay, for our example, right? So for apply family, okay, as we can see here, alright, for the documentation, okay, we need to specify the x, whereby the x is an array, okay, including a matrix, because okay, matrix is two-dimension array. And in this apply function, okay, you need to specify the margin. Okay, so margin here, okay, if we assign margin as 1, it is indicate that we want to perform the, we want to pass the function in terms of rows. Okay, while if we specify margin equals to 2, it will apply the function towards column. And if we want both, just simply type, okay, C1, okay, 2. Okay, and for the last argument here, okay, we, okay, fun here, it means that the function to be applied. Okay, and this function is actually, there's a lot of function that you can perform, but for this example, I will show you, okay, just okay, a simple function like min and sum, right? Okay, so suppose that we have okay, an array, okay, matrix, in terms of matrix. Okay, so let's take a look at what happen if we use this apply function. Okay, as we can see here, okay, this value, okay, 1 is for row. Okay, what happened, okay, so it is actually an average for this first row, and then the average of the second row, and the average of this third row. So what happen, you will have, okay, a vector with 3 element, okay, and this element is the mean for each row. Okay, suppose that we want to perform towards each column, okay, you just simply change the margin into 2. Okay, and what happened, alright, instead of it average in terms of each row, now it will, okay, calculate the average of each column. So you will have 4 element, okay, 2, 5, 20 and 50. And also you can try to use another function, okay, such as sum. Okay, it will give you the same output. Alright, so suppose that we have a data frame. Okay, remember, you can apply function to a data frame, okay, but the data frame have to be a numeric, okay, have it must have the same numeric object, okay, in the data frame, right? So we can see here, alright, again it can be applied. And the best thing, okay, the best thing about it is, alright, it takes the column name. Suppose that you want to do some operation on the column, okay, it takes the column name. So you know that, okay, vector A, the average is 3.5, vector B, the average is 35, okay, vector C, the average is 11. Alright, and you can also try to use trees dataset to use apply function. Okay, now we assign we assign an object called result, okay, with apply function to calculate the average of, okay, 2 stand for what? Okay, remember, 2 is for column, to calculate the average of each column in trees dataset. Right, so let's take a look. Okay, we run, okay, and as the result, okay, we get, okay, each column average. Okay, right, so let's take a look at another example, t-apply function. Okay, for t-apply function, it is specifically to works with over subset of a vector. What are the meaning of with this statement? Okay, so you can always ask R, okay, what is the default description of our function? Okay, t-apply. X is an R object for which a split method exists, typically a vector like, allowing subsetting with, okay, index. Okay, the most important part here is index. Index is a list of one or more factors. Alright, so even here they already highlight and underline the key terms that make sure that when we apply t-apply function, it works. Okay, and fun is the function to be applied. Right, so for this example, I need to have a vector with a factor consisting of this element. Right, I clear first. Okay, and I also create a vector z with, okay, with the same length. Okay, because of what? Right, for t-apply works, you have to make sure that the index have the same length as x. Okay, so I know that, okay, this is the factor y have 7 elements. So when I creating a vector, I also have to make sure that my vector have the same length as my factor. Okay, so how it works? Okay, this is vector z. Okay, we want to calculate the sum for vector z, which is, okay, which is indexed by, okay, factor y, and, okay, the function that we want to apply is sum function. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. Right, okay, so when we use t-apply, it will give you, okay, group 1 170. Because of what? Okay, as we can see here, g1 is 10, G2 is 20, G3 is 30, G1 is 40, G1 is 50, G2 is 60, G1 is 70. So it will sum all of G1, 10 plus 40 plus 50 plus 70. And also for G2, 20 plus 60, while G3, 30 and only 30. Okay, G3 is only there is only one G3 in this vector. Okay, right. So this is how we work with tapply. Okay, remember it needs this. Okay, index, a list of one or more factor. Okay, next I'll show you lapply. Okay, so let's take a look at the description of lapply function. Okay, apply a function over a list or vector. Now the keyword is list. Okay, and remember lapply return a list of the same length as x. Each element of each is the result of applying find. Okay, so we want to apply function towards a list. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. And now instead, I proceed with the next example. I create a vector of list. Okay, so you can see how this is AB, right? So this is actually a list because as we can see here, we have list for the first group and then the second group. Okay, so when we have list, we have to use sapply function. Suppose that we want to calculate the mean for each each group. Okay, so now let's run. Okay, what happened? Okay, it will give you a vector of an average for each group. Okay, 1 plus the average of the first group and then the average of the second group. Right? Okay, so suppose that I create another another vector list consisting of now I name each of group with A, B, C. Right? So what happened? Okay, now each of my group have names. So when I use lapply, so it will give you a list of average for each group. Okay, A3, B8 and C13. Okay, and remember, for sapply, it is actually same as lapply, but try to simplify the result. So what are the result for sapply? Now with the same function mean here, you will have different output. It depends on what kind of apply family that you perform. Okay, so I think that's all for this video. You can comment you can comment or give your opinion based on this topic, right? So I would like to thank all of you for listening and have a great day. Thank you.